Newtown battlefield, Elmira, New York, on August 22nd, 2026. Week shy of the 247th anniversary of the Battle of Newtown, which took place on August 29th, 1779, is the only major battle of the Sullivan-Clinton expedition. It took place in our part of the state. Clinton's part started in Cooperstown, New York. Sullivan started down in Pennsylvania. They worked their way up and down, met at Chemung in the Tioga area just east of here. Burned villages all along the way as they were going. Ultimately meeting resistance here by Butler's Rangers, led by Walter Butler and Mohawk Captain Thayendanegea, otherwise known as Joseph Brant. Met quite a bit of resistance here. They pushed them from down below, which we're heading over there to take a look. Down there is the Chemung River. Runs parallel with Interstate 86, which is where the basic main portion of the battle began. Forcing them to wheel up the hill here, and you can see down in that valley down there, you can hear the cars going by and the trucks. It's about a half a mile down to the bottom. Forced them up this hill. Patriots forced back, but they were met with quite a bit of resistance from the natives and Butler's Rangers and the Tories and the Loyalists, or as we call them today, Royalists. Loyal to the King, King George III at this time. So there's the Haudenosaunee flag representing the 5 nations, eventually 6, in 1722 when the Tuscarora joined. Joseph Brant, Thayendanegea. There's a picture of him. John Butler, who was the founder and father of Walter Butler, founded Butler's Rangers in this area right around here. German Flats, Anderstown, Springfield, Cherry Valley, Cobleskill, all these places where raids were done in Anaquaga, Unadilla, Oneonta, Buttercup Nut Creek. This is what led up to ultimately General George Washington of the Continental Army deciding we got to put a squelch on these raids going on by the natives and Butler's Rangers, and he decided to finally initiate it. It had been approved in the spring of '78 to do this expedition into the heartland of New York State and the heartland of the Haudenosaunee, but combination of the Cherry Valley Massacre and the Wyoming Valley Massacre, which occurred in 1778, Washington finally decided, okay, we're going to go with this, and he found a guy named John Sullivan to lead this in late summer, early fall of 1779, and will go down in history as the Sullivan-Clinton expedition. From July 31st to October 15th, this went on. It's one of the Revolutionary War's largest campaigns that this went on. The only major battle occurred here on, like I said, August 29th. Sullivan's army then proceeded up north of here to the Finger Lakes region, burning 40 villages, more than 40 villages in the Seneca and Cayuga nations of the Haudenosaunee. Reason for this was to destroy not only their homes, but to destroy their food sources, which were not only used for the Haudenosaunee to use for themselves, but they were providing this to the British Army at Fort Oswego and at Fort Niagara, especially up near Fort Niagara Falls and Buffalo. So they got rid of their food sources, and it really put a harsh winter. It was one of the worst winters for the Haudenosaunee without this food. Many sought refuge at Fort Niagara, but there was so much food that was missing that they themselves didn't even have it. The huge cost of caring for so many displaced Native Americans increased the war's growing unpopularity with Great Britain. So Newtown battlefield, the Battle of Newtown, August 29, 1779. 3 years from now, they're going to have the 250th event, reenacting this event, reenacting this battle. We're here today for an Daughters of the American Revolution, Sons of American Revolution picnic they're having up here in the pavilion number 4 next to the monument. I'm going to be speaking on one of the catalysts of the Sullivan-Clinton expedition, one of my favorite topics. People love to hear about it. The Cherry Valley Massacre.